You abandoned her. Let's react to it.
Fantasy World, Heroes Party, Adventurers Guild,
Yep.
Magic Spells, Demon Lord, Demon Lord, Demon Lord.
Demon Lord. Reincarnated as a Demon Lord with overpowered powers.
Fantasy stories have become the McDonald's
Exactly.
chicken nugget of the anime world. Now, don't get me wrong, I love myself some
Not exactly fantasy, but isekai.
cheeky nuggets, but you can be damn sure my body is crying the morning after I stumble into McDonald's at 1 a.m. intoxicated and think 20 nugs sounds like a perfectly reasonable amount of food
Yeah.
to consume right now. And it is. Oh, it always is.
You feel like shit after this, man.
Even if we exclude
Be
the
honest.
Isekai genre, it feels like every world is set in the same basic Billy's first D&D campaign.
Yeah, like every new one.
With
Yes.
slight variations here and there. Like every so often we do get something unique, like what's the name again? You know, the fantasy anime with that skull guy?
Overlord?
No. Like the skull guy was one of the main characters. No. The other skull guy.
Undertale?
No. He had a
What the
skull
hell?
guy.
I don't know
and
this
there was
one.
red hair. Are you fucking kidding me? Magus Bride. It was Magus Bride.
Ah,
So to me, it
that
would
one
be
was good. You need to watch that.
complete surprise if
That's
you
a
found
good
a
one.
story that had all these usual elements present and yet somehow immediately twisted it in a way I'd never seen before while stamping out an emotionally poignant, hard-hitting tale that nigh on near brought a tear to my eye within one chapter. But that's exactly what Sousou no Frieren did.
Frieren? Okay, that's a German word. Basically means, like, Frieren means to be cold, to shiver. But Susuno, I don't know, man.
Frieren is one of the most refreshing fantasy stories I've read in a very long time. But before we jump into this fantasy world, you don't even need to travel far to try snacks from a faraway land, thanks to our friends
Bro, how many times does a Gigguk get sponsored by Boxu? Like, this is
over at Boxu.
insane.
Today's sponsor. Boxu is a monthly subscription service that delivers premium Japanese snacks and tea pairings straight from Japan to your
Quite
door.
good.
Each Boxu features
Support
a
him.
new theme, providing a gourmet journey through Japan every single month. Boxu have kindly sent me this month's theme, which is Midori Moment, which I am so excited about. Because by far, one of my favorite things I've discovered after moving to Japan is that I love matcha-themed sweets and snacks. Alright, let's give it a try. Oh god. Oh my god. That's so good. Oh fuck.
Looks interesting, man.
Amazing. Oh,
Like, I completely drive on eggs, fish with rice and pancit canton, man. That's the lifestyle.
it smells so good.
But this looks interesting.
This is legit, I think, my favorite snack box so far. Seriously, guys, if you haven't tried any matcha flavored sweets before, you are missing out. Each box is packed with snacks and comes with a cultural booklet that tells you all about the themes, where the snacks come from, details on
Damn.
all the flavors, and even teaches you a few Japanese words and phrases. If you want to try some awesome Japanese snacks and support this channel, click the link in the description and use
Do
code
it.
Gigguk15 to get $15 off your first Boxu order. Thank you to Boxu for sponsoring today's episode, and back to Sousou no Frieren. Or Frieren Beyond Journey's End if you want the English name, or Frieren at the Funeral if you want the direct translated name, or Frieren and the Group of Dickheads if you want my name. This is still the world of Billy's first D&D campaign, but we actually begin at the end of his
Bro, this gives me straight up Erifil / Analondo vibes. What is this?
campaign, because you see, our hero party has just gotten back from defeating the Demon Lord. You have your usual suspects in the party returning home. There's the hero, the priest, the warrior, and the elf mage,
Yep.
Frieren, our main character for this story, as they reminisce
Oh.
over the journey they've just
The female mage is the main character. That's quite surprising.
they're greeted
Like-
by a meteor shower that comes once every 50 years, and while they share an intimate moment, they make a promise to catch the next one together in a better place. The guys wonder if they're even going to be alive to see the next one by the time it comes around, and
Oh.
Frieren's like, smell you later, losers. See you next Tuesday. Half
This sounds pretty dark. Like, it gets pretty dark. That is what I
a
think.
century passes in the blink of an eye, and when she returns, she once again reunites with the legendary hero Himmel, the one who defeated the Demon Lord, once the most powerful man on Earth. Now looks like that fucking old guy in every anime who
What?
sticks panties for a living. Yeah, he may have defeated the Demon Lord, but he can't defeat time, baby, cause damn, time got hands. Reunited with the old gang, they once
Impressive.
again go on one last adventure to see the breathtaking meteor shower before Himmel eventually passes away. Frieren, at the funeral, initially seems like the same stoic, apathetic person she was before out of nowhere she breaks down. See, they spent 10 years together, which is an absolute minuscule amount of time for an elf, but for a human, it's anything but. Himmel saw her as a dear friend, someone who he shared a once-in-a-lifetime experience with, who he spent a fair portion of his life and time in companionship with. But to Frieren, Himmel was just another acquaintance she spent a bit of time with. One who she thought she would have plenty of time to get to know better and grow closer to. And that's why she cries. Not at the loss of losing a friend, but at—
Bro, this is like the first manga which goes into this age kind of thing between the different races. That's interesting.
the loss of the chance to truly see him as one. And that, phew, god damn, what a way to start. Frieren has one of the strongest opening chapters I've seen for a fantasy manga. The story comes charging out of the gate, kicks you in the nutsack and leaves you on the floor a dribbling mess before you can even make a D's nuts joke. Chapter 1 could have easily been an emotional one-shot.
Bro, you need to watch Trash Days After Dark. Bro, Gigguk got destroyed. That was so sad. Kind of funny.
Frieren uses it as a springboard in order to begin her own journey.
Camera.
She doesn't know why such a short period of time had such a huge impact on her vast lifespan, and so she decides to retrace the steps her old party went on in hopes of learning more about the friends she knew so little about. The passing of time is obviously a big theme in the story being told here, and a lot of it plays on how Frieren herself perceives time. Being an elf means your lifespan is functionally immortal compared to us humans. Every elf you meet, despite their appearances, would likely be leagues older than you. That's right. Elves are just MILFs in disguise. Think about it for a second. What I love is that
I
initially—
could remember the sentence in a specific Trash Days episode.
we see time from her perspective.
You know
Years
which
can
one.
pass
You
in
know
just a
which
few
one.
panels. A page turn can result in a decade being lost, but that's
And in a sit snap video.
what it just feels like to her. I mean, she pissed away 50 years like I pissed away 50 minutes playing a game of League of Legends. Now just imagine.
My soul.
How sad would you be if within that 50 minutes where your 0-4 Teemo mid was flaming your useless Yi jungle while your bot lanes picked fucking Quinn ADC and you were laning against Tahm Kench top, you could have
Bro, Tahm Kench top is disgusting, man.
used that time
I would rather play against Teemo or anything else, but no Tahm Kench. It's just a boring lane. You can't go in. How can you defeat him, man?
to get closer to a friend that cherished you deeply before they died.
But he's useless in late game, so don't do it, man. Don't do it.
I'm already playing League, there's no going below rock bottom. A
Thank-
lifespan of 1,000+ years is so
Rip.
unimaginably long for humans to be able to comprehend. As Frieren goes on her journey, we see the effects of the different towns and villages that were saved by the hero's party, and how the memories of what they did were being preserved. Because even if we were involved in an event as massive as saving the world and defeating the Demon King, life moves on after that.
Damn.
Stories will get passed down, statues will persist, but living memories of the people who actually remember will only remain for so long. You see, Frieren deal with problems that we would never even begin to think about. What happens when all of your friends pass away and there's no proof of what you did together aside from the memories you take with you? How do you even begin to build the same bonds when you know their entire lives will be just a blip in yours? Alright, this is getting a little depressing. Here's some action. One upside of being in the party that defeated the Demon King is that Frieren kicks fucking ass. She was already strong enough when she helped defeat the Demon Lord, but now she has even more time to hone her magic.
Holy
Frieren
shit,
only
he
keeps
got
getting
sliced,
stronger and
man.
more powerful. Frieren barely fears any monsters, and her crew sweeps up any trouble they encounter on their journey. Frieren is not an action manga, don't come here looking for that. Well, there are some fights here and there, and as the manga goes on, an overarching plotline starts to form about taking down some of the remnants of the old Demon Lord's army. Where the manga shines is in its quieter, introspective moments.
Yeah, I think this is a story which
Even
is better to be enjoyed when you read it. Like, even though it does it have an anime? I don't think so. But even if it gets one, I think the manga adaptation, or is it based on a light novel? I don't know. Would be better than if it had an anime.
Frieren is probably older than any of us will ever come close to reaching. She still feels like a naive kid in a lot of ways. Oftentimes she'll come off as detached or uncaring, and it's seeing her slowly come to terms with what she's been through, processing her experiences and the beautiful moments that come out of it, is what is right at the heart of this tale. I don't want to be that guy that sits here and says, oh, it's kind of a slow burn, guys. Because to me, slow burn has always been the code for, you basically just said it's boring, but in cursive, you pretend to hack. But what I found here is that there's such a unique feeling that leaves you whenever you finish.
Like, I think shows should not really focus on this power level stuff, especially in fantasy. It's more about the journey, even though it sounds bad generic, but we all focus on this is one enemy, you defeat him, you get to a stronger one, and now you have this upgrade, you get more broken, and then you have this secret cursed weapon no one, or skill no one has ever seen and never used, but you are that one special person, and I hate this. I think they should introduce something where you are just a generic guy and you are fucked if you are fucked. Like, if you are down, you are down. And if you get beaten, you should be beaten.
Chapter, and that's because of the atmosphere it creates. It's not a series that sucks you in and refuses to let go, but instead it blossoms and envelops you. You get lost in its ambience. Ambience? Ambiance. God damn it, I am that pretentious hack. Which is why I think this manga is screaming for an anime adaptation.
Ambience.
It's rare to find a manga that is able to set such a strong atmosphere, so I can only imagine what it would be like with sound effects, voice acting, music, and motion to help set.
Oh, if we can get the music right, like in Mushoku Tensei, then the anime adaptation could be better. That's a thing.
Normally when I read a manga, I put my Sonic shoes on, fucking Running in the 90s starts playing, because my eyes speed through these panels. But with Frieren, there are several points with zero dialogue, zero reason to hold back, and yet I found myself slowing down my reading pace to just give time for the tale to sink in a bit more, because it just felt right. There will be a line or two that would come out of nowhere and just stick with me, like in one of these chapters, Frieren meets a teenage boy named Stark, who's the disciple of one of the members of her hero party, but also a coward. He's living in this village that's being terrorized by a dragon, and when Frieren asks him for help to get rid of it, he reluctantly says yes, even though he's terrified. So when she asks him why he would risk his life protecting this village, he replies, it's simple. He's lived there for 3 years. Frieren calls that ephemeral. Stark calls it an eternity.
Damn.
I don't know why, but that one little line reminded me just how different we view the passage of time as we get older, elf or not. The older you get, the more time feels like it speeds by, and I don't know why, just that one line alone made me wallow in the moment for a second of just what time must feel like to a being like Frieren. And it's little bits like this that is the real beauty of this manga. When you read it, there won't be this big world-shattering plot twist or this dramatic character death that sticks out to you. Sometimes a character will just say a line that will make you pause for a bit, or you'll turn a page and just see this panel where you just have to sit there and absorb for a while. Chapters are seeped in an air of melancholy. Frieren would be reminiscing about the party and I would be feeling nostalgic over them, even though I barely even knew them. But I suppose that's exactly how she felt too. We are told that elves in this world are essentially endangered species, largely coming from their lack of drives to seek out each other and breed, which makes sense. For a species, having such an overabundance of time can be a curse, because when you have so much of it, how do you find the motivation to make the most of it? A story like Frieren
Try to achieve bigger things, man, I guess.
shows us that it's
Okay, we already defeated the Demon Lord, so what is there left to do?
not just about the amount of time that defines what will leave the biggest impact on your life,
More research and magic, but yeah.
but the quality of how you choose to spend it. Every chapter starts off with a reminder of how many years it's been since Himmel's death. Because even though the time she spent with him on that journey was less than even 1/100th of her lifespan, that short amount of time left an imprint that will stay with her for the remainder of it. Not all time is of equal value, and just because you have more of it doesn't necessarily mean your life will have a richer experience. For someone like Frieren, 1 year is barely perceived, 10 years is merely a blip, 100 years is a small phase, but even though someone like her possesses more time than any of us will ever come close to having, it can pass her by just as quickly if she's not careful about it. Because it doesn't matter if you live for 10 years, 50 years, 80 years, or 1,000 years. You can easily waste that time all the same, so keep that in mind next time you're about to hit that match accept button. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yep. Maybe in 1,000 years. Time League itself will actually be as good as Arcane. I don't know, man. I think it is supposed to be broken. It's supposed to be new, refreshing all the time, or people will stop playing. That's a blessing and a curse, right? Game. So they're in a constant state of trying to balance, but still refresh things. And yeah, it was nice.
Hey
Nice
guys,
video.
hope
I think I'm gonna
enjoyed
read it.
video.
Like that
Thank you
sounded
very much
interesting.
this month.
And if an anime adaptation comes out, I'm gonna watch it, and you need to focus on the music, and you need to see if you need to get the great experience of it, a great experience of music itself. Like that's the most important part, I think. Visuals as well. Okay, nearly everything. Like it's like with Mushoku Tensei, if they didn't adapt that well, man, I wouldn't really care that much as it would be right now. But yeah, Sousou no Frieren is only missing an anime adaptation to get the attention it needs. Absolutely brilliant manga. Else are just myths in disguise. Very wise words from a very wise man. That's true, man. That's true. Yeah. Go subscribe to Gigguk and go subscribe to me as well if you want to see more of these reactions. Like I'm gonna react to gaming stuff, anime stuff, like everything in general, which is new. And that's actually it. Thank you for watching, and I see you next time. Wafer out.